what exactly was going on, I think I might have solved it. Let's dive in here.
The Gulf Lights Mystery. In 1994, a video surfaced showing strange lights hovering over the Gulf of Mexico. They pulsed, they flickered, and then they vanished. No sound, no explanation, just a grainy videotape and a lot of questions.
So as you can see here, it looks like the typical orb phenomenon, the orange lights and everything.
Now, in 2025, Comet 3I Atlas is approaching perihelion, and some say it's not natural. Sightings are spiking across Florida, so I did what any...
This is sort of what also inspired me to go down there. Funny enough, it just so happened that this was posted hours before I went down, and the weather conditions, a cold front had just come through, and it should have been real still, and the visibility should have been high. So I figured we'd get a clear view of the sky and of the oil rigs, and have some footage we can look out of that in here.
Curious person would do. I grabbed my gear, headed to the beach, and started looking for answers.
What is up, everybody? We seeing, we watching, we squatching, see Squatch watching the beach.
This is the Gulf Coast. Quiet, peaceful. But in 1994, something strange happened here. A local captured glowing orbs hovering over the water. The footage spread. The theories multiplied.
So, as you can see here, I deduced, based off the original footage with the audio, that the accents of the cameraman were probably Northern Gulf. And I further narrowed it down to east of the Mississippi. So not Texas and all that, but it sounded more Florida related to me, not Louisiana, not Mississippi, and not particularly Alabama, but I'm thinking Florida. As y'all can tell, I have a Southern accent. It's sort of a neutral Southern accent, I guess, and it's because my parents are from a different area than where I grew up. So I'm sort of familiar with the different various accents around. Anyway, so I decided to go through and look at the weather data. I figured I could pull it up for August 31st, 1994, which is when this original lights footage was taken. And first I was going to go with Tampa, but then I went with my gut and decided on Pensacola, which I think we nailed it there, and we'll see why in a minute.
I wanted to see what they saw. Similar location, same time of day, same horizon line. But instead of lights, I got something else. Let's take a look at the original tape. The lights appear in a line. They flicker. They fade. They don't move independently. No sudden acceleration. No intelligent control. Some say it's a UFO formation. Others say it's flares.
So, as you can see in that film, it was just that small area that had the lights on it. And he pans around. I think I left that out of what I put together here. But normally the horizon would be filled with oil rigs. So that's sort of why I was leaning towards it not being oil rigs. But we'll see about that in just a minute. Come check this out.
But the truth might be even simpler. Commenters on the video were suggesting that it could possibly be natural gas rigs, as they are common in the Gulf, and they are just obscured by atmospheric conditions.
It's only 4.9
I
mile
pulled
visibility
NOAA
there.
records from the night the footage was filmed. Turns
Drizzle
out
with fog.
it was probably sunrise, not sunset. On the day the 1994 footage was taken, it turns out there was an unseasonable fog and mist. Perfect conditions for light refraction.
Normally, Augusts are pretty, I guess, on the dry side. It's not exactly the rainy season yet. And like a fog or a haze on the horizon would be kind of strange.
And reduced visibility. This means that distant lights can appear to hover or distort. That day, in August, the visibility was only 4 miles. When I filmed, the visibility was 9 miles, nearly double.
So it was extremely clear. The video here I just took with a cell phone. It doesn't do it justice. But that was probably the most detail I've ever seen on the rigs from a beach.
Not perfect, but it's close. Close enough to raise serious doubts. And guess what? He says they started out as 7, and then there were 13 lights. You might think to yourself, why are these the only rigs around?
So that was kind of the pushback, was that if there were rigs, normally those rigs are grouped together, and you'd see them across the horizon, and as just a general rule of thumb. So just seeing that one single area lit up suggested that it must not be the oil rigs. But watch this.
Usually they're grouped together, as seen here in my footage. Well, last night, not all of the rigs were turned on at the same time.
Who would have thought?
There were a handful of rigs that were still pitch black and turned on 20 minutes after the first ones did. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys were sleep deprived or hungover.
So that rig right here was on about almost an hour before the sun actually set. So it came on pretty early, and left and right of it, not all of them were on. About, I don't know, a third of them turned on about the same time as this one did, and the rest turned on pretty good bit after sunset. So this is actually before sunset, which is similar to the original footage. Everybody was sort of thinking that it was sunset, I think. And I'm pretty sure that was sunrise, since they were fishing. Normally, when you would go fishing, you'd get an early start and probably come back in before sundown. It's just a typical rule. So I think that might be what's going on here. And the fishermen could have been drinking or hungover or something. And they might have been confused at first, or I think they might just be pulling our leg and playing a prank on us here. And then when they got in to shore, they might have realized, hey, we could fool some people with this. Let's show our buddies and show them the aliens, right? And then YouTube comes around, or wherever they posted this originally, and here we are today watching it, and we're probably all being fooled, right?
Either, and were confused. Or maybe they were playing a prank. So, what are the recent Gulf sightings? UFOs? Flares? Reflections? I'm not an expert, but the evidence points to something natural.
Those are all the
something
rigs.
Explainable. Still, the timing, the patterns, the mystery. It's hard to ignore. I don't know, guys. These seem like natural gas rigs obscured by fog. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's nothing. Or maybe it's something we're not meant to understand. What do you think they are? Comment your theories below. And if you've seen something strange in the sky, I want to hear about it.
So, yeah, I think they're just natural gas rigs. And those guys are just playing a sort of a elaborate prank on everybody. And it's crazy the optical zoom versus a digital camera's or a phone's digital zoom. Those things could reach out and touch some stuff there, unlike our phones. Let's see. We'll try and go back to a picture of the rigs. Okay. Well, so I think what's happening is there was just a weird fog that day, and that right under where the legs would be, those things are just covered up. Kind of right here, they're just covered up, and all you're seeing is the lights just sort of breaching through the fog there, and just looking distorted. And the way it looks on footage, they're not quite as orange as you would think, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think they're just oil rigs, or are they something else? I think a lot of the phenomenon is explainable, and it's either, I think some of it could be flares, and some of it could be Chinese lanterns, but I'm fairly certain that some of them are just still unexplainable. So let me know what y'all think. I'm pretty convinced that this one's rigged.
Either, and we're confused. It's hard to ignore. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, let me know.
Next time, plasma orbs, ball lightning, Gerald Ford and the inventor of the proximity
weird?
investigate mysterious lights in the sky. As always, we see them, we watch them, we squatch them, see squatch watch.
Appreciate it, guys. I hope y'all learned something, and we'll see y'all next time.